Welcome back to another episode of the No Money Real Estate Podcast. I'm super excited because I'm being joined today by a man I have an incredible amount of respect for. His name is Jesse Topp. This guy has got more going on in his life than you could possibly imagine. He's a new dad. He owns an incredibly successful martial arts gym, and he's flipping 3 to 5 properties a year. And we're going to get into a deep conversation about house flipping with him right after this.
Hey, my name's Ken, and I'm a real estate investor. I want to welcome you to the No Money Real Estate Podcast. On this show, I'm going to interview elite level real estate investors from all over North America. And I'm going to help you to see one thing that all successful real estate investors have in common. They built their portfolios without using a dime of their own money. I've got a portfolio of $300 million in real estate. That includes resorts, apartment buildings, commercial buildings, and I built the entire portfolio without using a dime of my own money. Real estate is a business that anybody can get into, but the strategies that those tight real estate investors use to build massive portfolios have been kept secret for decades. Now, because of this show, I'm going to reveal them to you. So let's get started.
Okay, Jesse, good to see you, brother. How are you?
You too, man. You too. I'm good.
Okay, so let's start off. Tell everybody what's happening in your life today. What do you got going on? I kind of gave them an overview as I was introducing you, and I talked about you've got gyms, you've got boats, you just got a lot of shit going on. Give everybody a little understanding of who you are.
Well, man, first I'm a new dad, and I'm 42 with a 10-month-old downstairs right now, and it's been different, but it's given me a new sense of purpose, which has actually been amazing. I'm a professional house flipper. I can honestly say that now. I have multiple projects on the go, houses on the market, inventory sitting, inventory selling all the time, and then I had a couple gyms, and now I just have one 10,000 square foot facility, over 1,000 members, which I manage, and I have a large staff that helps me. That's gotten me where I am today, and just enjoy every minute of it. It's a struggle, right? Everything in life is, but it's worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Well, listen, you and I talk about house flipping all the time because we motivate each other with this.
Yeah, totally.
And you totally would agree with me that we want to get thousands and thousands of new people into real estate investing. And if somebody's just getting started, house flipping is just the most logical thing to do because they can put an extra $100,000 to $200,000 in their bank account in the first year.
Totally.
And they're doing a good thing for their communities. But where do I want to start with you on this? There's so much to unpack here. Well, let me give me your take on why house flipping makes sense to be part of a portfolio.
You taught me this. I'll be honest with you. And I'm not saying this because I'm on your podcast. You taught me this. It's because it gives you the platform to learn everything in one project. It's like you get to learn lending. You get to learn how to, if you don't have the cash sitting around, if you've got to put down payments and deposits and credit, you've got to get your credit in line. You've got to get your, whether it's a credit card, your what's that one you got me on? Amex card. You have to learn how to lay out your debt stack, how to get your financing in line. If you have to leverage your current property or something else to have the money to do it, you get to learn the lending game. And then let's talk about the negotiations of buying the property. So you get to go and look at X amount of properties, 30, 40, 50 properties before you find the one you want. Then you get to learn the construction. And you notice how I'm saying you get to? It's like, I used to look at this as like, it's a massive pain in the ass because it's a lot of work, but you've changed my mindset on it. It's like, I get to do these things. I could either choose to go to a 9-to-5 job and, not really care for it, or I can look at it where like I get to take these problems and make them into solutions. And the bigger the problems, the more stress I find, the more money I make. So then when you get to the construction of it, I get to learn how to, even though I don't do it myself, I get to learn how to lay flooring. I get to learn, if there's right now we're dealing with some tile issues and a ceiling tile of a house. If there's a roofing issue, if there's a property report issue, if there's all these issues that pop up, and you get to learn them through house flipping, which then you can convert to use to, I'm about to start a development project, which I've learned those skills through house flipping. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, let's just talk about the facts. If you're doing any type of real estate investing, there's 4 things you need to know. And there's 4 categories, I believe anyway. And I know you're on the same page as me. First, you got to find out how to find undervalued properties. You got to go in low. Second, you got to arrange the financing. You got to understand raising capital. Third, you got to increase the value of the property. And then fourth, you sell it. It's really that simple.
It is.
And now that you're doing all the aspects of it, I tell a lot of people that do house flipping to learn those things and put money in your pocket. But what you're going to realize is you're naturally going to be drawn to do bigger and better things
Yeah.
once you master those skills. And it sounds like that's where you're going next.
Yep, totally. That's exactly where I'm going next. It's like it's almost like hands-on education, right? It's like you can go to school, and I don't even know if they teach this kind of stuff in school, but through a mentorship, like through your mentorship or the program we coach together, it's like we teach people how to do it, but it's hands-on experience is what taught us how to do it. So yeah, and then you just continue to go, just like education, right? You start in high school and you go to college and you go to university and then you get an undergrad and go on and so on and so forth.
So I know you've done a bunch of flips, but just
Yep.
walk me through your best flip and your worst flip.
Oh, well, the best one is the one I have right now, but I'm having a hard time selling it. It was a great project to get into. I guess it's almost my best and my worst, to be honest with you,
Okay.
because I seen it as a great project, and I bought it so undervalued, and it was a great location. I made a couple mistakes trying to make it into. It wasn't in a neighborhood that I'm used to, and I kind of went outside of my comfort zone. But I thought, what the hell, we'll do it anyways. And some things that I did to the house, looking back, I wish I didn't do. I closed off the carport, which then now I've got people interested in buying, but now they're saying, well, there's not enough parking because I eliminated 2 parking spots. I never would have saw that coming. Where my house where I live and other houses I have in the neighborhood where I'm at, parking's not an issue. The driveways, the lots are big, the driveways are bigger. So that would be, but as far as the value of it, I feel like I'm going to make more money on it. It's been a bit of I guess, a learning curve. My best
Okay.
one though is actually not a flip; it's a burr. If we want to count that, which was
Do it.
supposed
Yeah,
to
tell me
be,
about it.
yeah, it was supposed to be a flip, and I bought this old house because I wanted just the property, and then ended up. Well, that's the one that I renovated in like 3 weeks, just because I had people that wanted to rent it, and now I use it as a rooming house. But we're starting the development process on it, which is going to be a 4-pack or a fourplex is going to go on there. So but with that, I've already I bought it with private money. Then I cashed out. I took my money back out. I paid back all my investors. I took extra equity out, which was tax-free money. I used it for another project that I'm involved in. And then, and now we're about to start the development process.
So in that place, you
should,
said it's a rooming house. How many
yep.
people are living there?
Well, there's 5 rooms. There's usually 5 people there. There's 4
And
right
what are
now.
they each paying to live there?
That actually cash flows really well. So I'm smiling when I say it because it's a great deal. 4 rooms they pay $3,000. The other room pays $1,000, so $4,000 a month for a 5-bedroom house. And then I have a garage, a 2-car garage that I rent out for $500 a month on the property as well. So it's cash flowing $4,500 a month right now for me, not net, but gross.
Yeah.
And
After all your expenses, are you putting any money in your pocket?
yeah, $1,500.
$1,500 a month on one unit.
Yeah. I'm one with the garage and all that. And it's a rooming house, right? And then I'm going to title it off and split it and put a 4-plex on there essentially. Yeah.
So you're gonna cut the property's big enough that you're gonna cut it in half and
Yep.
you're gonna build a 4-plex on the same place. You're not getting rid of the current house and the 4,500 a month.
Yeah, I am eventually. Yeah, it's in the process right now, but it's going to take us 18 months. So the process just is starting right now. I need to get the other house sold, and then I can focus on this.
Okay, so let's talk about the new people that are just getting into real estate investing or that are thinking about it but are scared to death about it. Before you got started, had you ever thought about real estate investing, and did you have that fear? Were you nervous?
Yeah,
talk me through that a little bit.
Yeah, everybody is, right? It's like, but then you see the people that are doing it and they're succeeding. If you're watching the podcast right now, everything I'm saying is true. Everything that you say online is true. I'm with you all the time. I can vouch that everything we both say is true. We both have these projects on the go, and you see people, excelling and succeeding in the industry. It's just fearful to get into because most people don't know how. Or one of my biggest problems, when that's how you and I met, actually, Ken, was because I didn't understand the lending game like you do. And then when I got working with you, I got inside your mentorship, we became good buddies. And then I started to see how all of these things come together where I can now understand the money game. And that was a big, big, big change where I think a lot of people, especially, you grow up and you see somebody go get a mortgage, they go to the bank and the bank says yes or no, and you bring your T4s in and all that song and dance. Knowing that there's another option out there, that completely changed the game for myself and Sarah. Completely. Yeah.
Now that you're into it, you're changing your whole future.
Yeah.
I mean,
totally.
Because I remember when we first met, you had 2 gyms and you were talking about opening up a 3rd gym.
Yep.
Now I just heard for the first time you've actually sold one of the gyms. So you obviously haven't opened another one. You're down to one of them. and
Just
you've
one.
put together a whole team that's doing
Yep.
these house flips.
Yeah. So the house flips is like a separate business. And then I have the gyms that's just, it cash flows for us and it does well. And it's a passion project. And I have a lot of people and a lot of network in it. So we keep it and I like it. It's good, but it's completely changed the trajectory. I texted you this the other day, trajectory of our lives. Like I just went and got my real estate license through one of your programs, through people I met in your programs. I coach for you. I do one-on-one coaching, earn profits coaching. Then I have the house flipping company. Now I'm getting in development with people that I've met through your program. So it's like, I don't know, it just completely changed the trajectory of our lives. And the main thing is like, and this is the truth. I said to Sarah that yesterday morning, I get to wake up every day and watch my son grow up. Where if I didn't do this, I would still be going that 9 to 5 or 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. grind and missing it. Where now I get to wake up and have breakfast with them, play around with them, go out in the snow. I get to enjoy all those things that watching them grow up, which has been a gift. It's a
Okay,
gift.
so here I want you to think about all the shit that you've been through with house
Mhm.
flipping and some of
Yep.
the things that didn't go right, some of the challenges you've had,
Yep.
and give me 3 fundamental pieces of advice for new people that are just getting into real estate investing. Or if there's somebody that's thinking about getting into house flipping, what are the 3 most important pieces of advice you can give them?
First one is get around other people that are doing it, and don't just get around them, like get involved with them, whether it be into one of the programs that you and I have, your syndicate program, or just going to an event where people are talking about it and doing it. You have to be around it. The value of the relationships of the people that you meet in those programs, whether it's the coach or just people that are in the program doing the same thing. The old saying, if you want to be a millionaire, or at this point, if we want to be multimillionaires, I'm going to sit at the table with multimillionaires, and eventually, if you're there with 4 of them, you're going to be the 5th. And it's true. I've proven this.
Okay.
The second piece of advice is get your money right, get your debt right, get your credit right. I don't mean you have to have an 800 or 900 score, but make sure that you're not in, make sure that when you pull your credit profile, that it's strong. Don't over leverage yourself buying dumb shit like vehicles. And we both have yachts, but we worked hard to get those. Don't do that unless you're able to do that. Don't over leverage yourself. And then third, find professionals. Don't try to do everything yourself. I've done that. I've watched other people around me do it. I've watched students do it. And you end up just basically burning yourself right out, getting yourself in over your head. And I've done this. I don't know if you have, but you get over your head. And then it's like you're rushing to get made up time, and then you want to make top dollar, and you end up coming up short, and it's a struggle. So, hire professionals, get around professionals.
It's funny you say that because I was talking to a guy the other day who is a contractor, and he was asking me, he said that he had talked to somebody who told him that even if he's a contractor, he should hire other people to do his flips. And I contradicted that. I said, no, man, if you are a credible residential contractor, then do some of the work yourself. If you're used to
sure.
know what the hell you're doing, but it's not necessary.
Mhm.
You don't
Nope.
have to do the work. Like I've got 3 flips that are going on right now, and I don't do that work. I don't know how to, and I would hurt myself. I know I would.
Yep.
So there are cases where somebody should do the work for themselves if they know what they're doing,
Totally.
but it's
Definitely.
not necessary, is it?
Nope, not at all. I used to not do any of the work, and now I do a bit of it because I enjoy it, because my brother's involved and I'm learning some stuff, and I've got some skills from years in the past. So I do it because I enjoy it. But if you have some skills and you can utilize them, like laying the floor, if you're going to pay a guy, $6 a square foot to lay your floor, and you can do it on the weekend with some friends, by all means, that's money that's going to go in your pocket. But something plumbing, electrical, anything that takes some serious skill, I prefer to get, I only get professionals to do it. You have to.
Okay. I love the fact that every time we start a program or we come up with an idea that helps people, before we even figure out how to teach it, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about becoming a real estate agent, because it was only like 6 months ago. I'm like, shit, we're going to launch this program. We're going to teach people how to become agents. I'm going to become a real estate agent. I'm just starting to look into the materials, and I find out you're already licensed.
Yeah. I just finished. I just wrote my last test. I still have to do my transfer to Ontario, but I just wrote it on Monday. Yeah, it was good, man. That's all through your courses and through, that's what I said, going to the network, going to the events, met Mel and Courtney, went through their program. They guided me right through the whole process. It was phenomenal. It completely changed I would have never have done it otherwise, ever.
So why is it a good idea for somebody that's doing house flips to also get a real estate license?
Well, one is the commissions, right? So you're saving 4% on the sale, but that was the main reason I did it in the beginning. But actually, now that's not even the real reason why I did it. Now I did it just to be involved. Like if you want, like I was saying, if you want to sit and you want to be at the top of the industry, you have to be like, I did the same thing in the fitness industry. You have to jump both feet in, man. You have to get like right in there, right? So it's like, now I have my license. Now I can see my own deals. I can write my own deals. I can sell my own deals. Never mind the fact that I get access to different people in brokerages. It just gives you another level of credibility as well, right? So if, I don't know, if I'm buying a property from a private sale, I love to buy private sale stuff. And the person asks me, well, are you a real estate agent? Well, yeah, I am, but we can still buy this private, or we can work it out. Do you know what I mean? It just gives you another level of credibility. And I'll be honest, those courses, they're hard, but I learned a ton of stuff, of stuff. Yeah.
Sure.
Right from mortgages to property reports, to surveys, to, you know, material latent defects. Like right now, dealing with the tile issue I'm dealing with, I kind of had an idea, but now going through that course, it's pretty educational.
How many flips do you see yourself doing in a year in the future?
Next year we'll do 5. Next year, I think 5.
And how much are you making per flip on average on a good flip?
I shoot for 200,000. If I make 120, 130, I'm happy. If I honestly, at this point, if I come out at 50 or 60, but doing them in volume, I'm happy with that. It's still $200,000-$300,000 a year cash, right?
I was going to say, well, 5 at 120 grand is $600,000.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Plus it's an opportunity for everybody that's working inside that company. My dad's involved, my brother's involved, I'm involved, Sarah's involved, Sarah's parents are involved. There's a bunch of people involved in it. My family, some lending. There's a bunch of us making money from it. It's actually, let's just say, when we have dinners together, they're much more enjoyable now when we're talking.
Yeah, no kidding. And when it comes to flipping a property, I tell people all the time, you can do this even if you have no experience in real estate investing. None.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, look how many people that are doing it with no experience. You just have to get around people that understand what they're doing, right? And bounce those ideas off them.
All right, Jess, anything else you want to share? Last piece of advice for people that are thinking about doing this, have never done anything in real estate investing before, they want to make more money in their lives. What's the single biggest, most important thing that you want them to remember from this conversation?
If you are thinking about getting around or getting into real estate investing in whatever capacity, house flipping, multifamily, development, whatever, you have to get around other people. Bottom line, if you're trying to do it on your own, you will do it, but it's going to take a long time and it's going to cost you a lot of money. Take that from my advice. I've done it. I've tried it. You have to get around other people that are doing it. It's a must. You have to. It's a must.
Well, listen, friends, I'm really super excited that you joined Jesse and I here today. One last thing I want to tell you. Jesse and I have decided to jump on a Zoom call with a guy named Adam Finch and Sarah Roth. And we're going to walk everybody through this entire strategy of house flipping. We're going to show you how to find undervalued properties, how to acquire them with other people's money, how to increase the value of them, and how to sell a property so you guarantee yourself $100,000 in profit. If you want to make an extra $100,000 in the next year, then click on the link in the show's notes and join us on Zoom and we'll walk you through the strategy.